Good evening, and welcome to the Reel McCoy. I'm your host, Mephisto, and always with me, my hetero life mate, all my feelings. Good evening to you, sir.
Evening, buddy.
What is the Reel McCoy? The Reel McCoy is a weekly movie podcast where we send you off to watch a movie. You watch it, come back to us, and we break it down, geek on it, and do it all the stuff to it, and maybe take it out in the back and shoot it sometimes. Yes. It happens.
Like basketball.
Like basketball. Exactly. Anyway, this week we are covering, this is the last week of August, the month where we kind of dedicated to Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the creators of South Park and different other movies like Orgasmo and Basketball that we've covered. And this week we are covering probably the most well-known, the most well-quoted, and the most controversial movie they've done, I think.
I would think, I think the most well-known would have to be South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
Okay, and the most controversial?
Oh, this one by far.
Remains to be seen.
Down.
Okay. All right, cool. With us today is Mr. Toxic Manflu. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Every day above ground is a good day for me. Thank you all very much for including me in this. I know you've had several other people that I stream with on, and they've had a great time. This is one of my all-time favorite films. Love Trey Parker and Matt Stone stuff. Been following them since Orgasmo. Basketball, nice. I could just watch like crazy behind the scenes. Right. Certain parts of that film, I laughed so hard, I nearly blacked out. So, and Bigger, Longer, Uncut, I laughed myself on the floor at the theater when we saw that with friends. So this is an important film for our time.
All right,
yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
I do have to ask real quick. Now, Toxic Manflu, have you seen Cannibal the Musical?
Yes. I've seen Cannibal the Musical.
I'm at a disadvantage. I haven't.
I have seen the Mormon show on
the Book of
Broadway
Mormon.
show.
Yeah, the Book of Mormon is really good too. Yeah,
the two things. The only problem, and all my feelings knows about this, me and musicals do not mix. So I'm gonna have to sit myself and do it. All right, before we dive in, right? If you want to interact with the show, at Mephisto on Twitter, at Mephisto79 on Instagram. Don't really use it, but I do check it every single day. If you want to email the show, give suggestions, do whatever, blah, 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 the Reel McCoy podcast at gmail.com to catch Mr. Toxic Manflu and all of his things at the Toxic Manflu on Twitter. You can catch him on Gilded. If you don't want to use Discord, you can catch him on Gilded, the alternative to Discord. The Toxic Man Lab is there. And also, Mr. Toxic is a wonderful producer, and he keeps his boss in check.
I suck at it.
Dude, trust me, you're doing just fine. I'm in the chat. I know. You can go and subscribe to Comics Division, who was supposed to be one of our guests, but sadly he couldn't due to IRL stuff. But you can catch Comics Division both on YouTube and on Odyssey, where it's a little bit more free because, you know, there's less censorship, and they can the guys and gals sometimes. You get gals sometimes, right?
Yeah, we do have female desk. Chrissy Mayer was on. And,
oh, nice.
Yeah, we've got some people have been in our chat for a long time that are going to be on here. Southern Bell, one of our great chat members, is going to be on with us. So
nice. So you have
we're just trying to interact with the chat and get as many people in as we can.
You've got the yelling at part cars on the Tuesday.
That's
Monday. Oh, well,
Tuesday for you.
Yeah, Tuesday for me. It's literally Tuesday morning. I wake up, I go to work as I'm listening to the show, and it's Wednesday.
Thursday into Friday for you is Thursday night throwdown.
All right,
so cool. We try and do more artists and people in the fellowship. We've had the Ginger Ninja on, who's launched a Indiegogo comic. There, we've had multiple artists, and Mike from XRL7.
Is it Snoo or Snow? The guy with the puppets? He's
Snowdub.
Hilarious.
He's on Monday.
He is
Snowdub's on.
Hilarious.
The Cotton Connection is strong. Yeah, we've got Oral from Under a Rock. We've been on his show a few times. He did some stuff for us Thursday. It was pretty bad.
I'm gonna link all my feelings to that YouTube. It's the guy does his own puppets, Jim Henson style, and he voices everything.
Yeah,
it's fucking good. All right,
it's a great one. Yeah, he does some really good original songs too. So
now to dive into Team America World Police. First question, and always the first question. All my feelings. How many times have we watched this movie this week? 3. I would guess 4. For me, it's I think it's 1.5. 1 to refresh. I did watch it on the way to Manchester or on the way back. Don't remember what.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
One of the people who were sitting next to me on the plane gave me the look because he did see what I was watching while I was watching the unrated puppet sex show,
unrated version,
and he gave me the look, and I was like, "Fuck you! I'm old. Fuck you! I'm gonna watch this." And then I watched it this week, and while editing the short version of it, which will come at the end of the show. So to dive deep into this freaking movie, we go to All My Feelings. We have a segment for it. It's called Behind the Screens.
Take 2.
Behind the Screens is where we go to All My Feelings, and he breaks it down on everything that goes on behind the scenes, production, all that good stuff. Take it away.
Okay, this is, as I told Meph, Toxic Manflu, the longest behind the scenes segment I have ever written. There is so much about this movie. So the original puppet idea actually came from Parker and Stone's actual distaste for the original Thunderbirds because they thought it was too slow and it took itself too seriously. The idea of using puppets in a film came from when they found out that Thunderbirds was actually being made into an actual new film. But yeah, they were really disappointed when they were not going to use the puppets. It was going to be a live action one. They're like, oh, that's awful.
Was it Bill Pullman that was in that movie, or was it John Paxson? It was Paxson was in the.
I think it was Paxton. Yeah.
Yeah,
the live action Thunderbirds.
Right,
it was bad. It was really bad.
Yeah.
I think it was it came out in 1999 or something.
Somewhere around there.
It was the early. I think it was early 2000s.
Yeah, somewhere in that around.
Yeah. But anyway, so what's funny is that Parker and Stone's original idea to utilize the puppets was after they actually got a spec script to read about the day after tomorrow. They thought the concept of the film, The Day After Tomorrow, they thought it was so absolutely ludicrous, they were going to make the puppet version of it afterward called The Day After Tomorrow. They were going to have it filmed and actually released the day after tomorrow was released.
Yeah. That is them in a nutshell, I think. Yeah.
Very much so.
Before you continue,
Paramount.
Wait. Before you continue, I forgot to set the scene. The film released 2004, and it was the height of the Bush era.
Yes, very much so.
The height of the Bush era.
That's gonna come up.
Yeah, that's gonna come up. I know. I just forgot to say it at my intro. Go ahead.
Yes. Now, since they couldn't actually get that done, I don't know, Toxic Man Flu, are you aware of South Park around that time?
Yes. Yeah, I was very aware. I've been watching South Park stuff since the pretty much the Santa Claus versus Jesus Christ episode came out.
Yes, but in the fall of 2005, they actually did release an episode called The Day After Tomorrow, a year after Team America World Police was released to mock The Day After Tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah.
They finally did get their jokes in about that.
Yeah, they're a big anti-Hollywood group, very similar to what you've seen with
very much so.
Seth MacFarlane. A lot of stuff that he had inside of that. So
yeah. The film was championed at Paramount by Scott Rudin, who actually was the person who was the executive producer on the original, the South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. So if you look at the major producers of it were Matt Stone, Trey Parker, and Scott Rudin.
Nice.
The executives weren't sold until Matt Stone and Trey Parker sent them some versions of the dailies. But the very beginning, the puppet scene, it's marionettes utilizing marionettes.
Yeah.
That was the thing that they showed them first. One of the executives stood up and exclaimed, and I quote, "Oh God, they fucked us." Before it panned out to that really glorious shot of like the giant Parisian scene. And as a result, they kept that shot in the film.
Sorry.
Yeah, they fooled more than one executive on what they were doing.
I can picture the room where it was said.
Yes.
A bunch of fucking bankers with gray suits during that particular era, and somebody stands up and says, "Oh my God, they fucked us."
Yes. Parker and Stone worked with their longtime writing partner, Pam Brady, for over 2 years writing the script and revising it, as they wanted to actually have it fit with the current narratives that were going on. And this was right after the second election of, well, actually after the Iraq War officially began.
Yeah.
They had to do a lot of rewrites to make that sentiment clearer, where it's like we're mocking both sides here. You have to understand that the very heavy pro-war and the very heavy anti-war. We're mocking everybody because the entire situation is utterly ridiculous.
Yep. I think they're both kind of anti. They're anti-establishment, but they're also like anti-war, like what you would
Mhm.
guess as a classic. I don't know, either classic liberal or old school Democrat. I think.
Well, it was that one. It was the episode, the 2 in South Park too. It was episode 200? Who
It's all
cares?
blurred
200
today,
episode.
so
It's like I'm a little bit country, I'm a little bit rock
yeah,
and
yeah,
roll.
yeah, yeah.
That episode, yeah,
That's the one. That's the
yeah,
thing I was thinking about.
yeah. So overall, a crew of over 200 people worked on the project, including people that were using all the marionettes. Some marionette rigs took over 4 people to actually utilize and move them at a time.
Yeah, I would guess so.
There were over 270 individual puppets or marionettes,
Okay.
and over 1,000 different outfits.
Okay.
Many of the internal jokes that were actually written in the original script were cut because Matt Stone, Trey Parker, and Pam Brady thought it was actually more humorous just to have the puppets move, which we'll see is an ongoing theme throughout it. Because like, follow me this way,
Yes.
or that
Yes. I
the
thought
first.
they were trying
Sorry.
to mock. Yeah, because they were trying to mock Thunderbirds.
Yeah,
And
very much
in
so.
Thunderbirds, they couldn't do certain things, so they just had to do this.
Yeah.
Right? That walk.
Right. There was a lot of unintentional physical comedy that they took
Very much
advantage
so.
of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna get Spotswood and his chair moving around the entire made me laugh every single time it happened.
Yeah.
But moving on. Many of the scenes, especially the secret lair base, that were not actually an homage to Thunderbirds, they were actually an homage to a classic film called Megaforce, which I know you have not seen, Matt.
I've not seen. I've seen Thunderbirds.
It's really good and it's really funny.
Okay.
The film overall was outrageously painstaking to make. Sometimes even the smallest bit, they had one scene, the bar scene with Gary at the bar, just taking just a drink of the beer.
Drinking. Yeah.
Yeah, that would take up to 4 to 5 hours just to him doing that shot sometimes.
Oh my God. Because they had to move it slow and then make it faster.
Yeah. And they had the most tiniest of minute details down to there was an Uzi that was utilized that actually would fire little small pop blanks that would actually function properly.
Mm-hmm.
That cost $1,500 to create and function properly with the marionettes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Was ILM involved? No, I'm just joking. I'm joking.
No, there was actually even down to the fact that they actually did. If you notice that Kim Jong-il's glasses they actually have cut, rounded, and smoothed out glass.
Yes.
For his actual glasses.
Yes. But that's puppet design. That always costs a lot of money.
With all of this, production was rushed and rushed and rushed. It was released on October 14th. They had a premiere on October 5th for producers and select people only. The audio mix was not done at the premiere.
Wow.
9 days before theatrical release.
Wow.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. Whoever works in and around the movie business knows how insane. I haven't, but I know of it.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
There were 9 different versions of the puppet sex scene that were sent to the MPAA before it got an R rating.
Oh yeah,
I bet
that puppet sex scene
did they
got
not
hit hard?
Yeah.
Did they not cut it from the regular release?
No, it's in there. It's just a lot of it is cut out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the scene's in there, but it was the unrated version. Once that came out, I think on DVD.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw that, I was like, "Oh,
yeah.
that and this, and yeah, that was
because the
pretty
original
sick.
puppets sex scene I think was only supposed to be around 30 seconds. The full one and the uncut version is 1:15.
Is a minute 15, a minute 20, something like that. Yeah,
And
it's
obviously
long, dude. It's long. Like I said, I got the look.
Well, the big one has to be with the pissing and shitting. I mean, it's like,
I didn't.
How
Let's
they
just
made
say I
that
didn't look.
marionette did that. That was art. Okay.
The vomit
Yes, it was,
scene
very
was
much so.
art. The vomit scene was art.
which we'll get to.
Yeah, we'll get to.
But we're going to talk about some of the people around the film. So Alec Baldwin actually thought the movie was hilarious, and he actually enjoys the fact when people say you are irrelevant, Alec Baldwin.
He wasn't in the film though.
No,
he wanted to be though. He actually did want to be in the film as himself. Yeah.
If you type Team America World Police cast, it literally get like a set of pictures on Google. It says Matt Stone, Trey Parker, Alec Baldwin. He is not in this movie.
In the movie, no.
Nope.
So,
but they were famous. They like to take famous characters and make them do things like what they did to George Clooney, and they made him a dog.
Yeah,
which I'm going to get to. George Clooney has actually gone on record saying that he would have actually been offended had they not included him in the Film Actors Guild.
That's true.
Now, one person who hated it was Sean Penn, who wrote them hate mail, including the question of saying, "Hey, do you want to come to Iraq with me next time? Sincerely, go fuck yourself, Sean Penn."
Wow, he's a bit of a hothead.
He's a piece of shit anyway.
He always was a hothead. He dude.
He punched out Madonna.
It's Spicoli.
Yeah, he did.
It's fucking Spicoli.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about Matt Damon for a second.
Weed, that's what happens.
Yeah. Matt Damon. Yeah. Now, Matt Damon was actually confused because he has gone on record saying, "No, I think they're geniuses and we're friends. I still don't know why they cast me in that light." It was because after the marionette was modeled, they had 3 of them already ready for different shots. One where he gets killed and everything. But Matt Stone and Trey Parker thought that the marionette looked mentally deficient. So we're just gonna have him just say Matt Damon, his name over and over and over again.
I like production stuff like that. You know me.
Yeah. North Korea, actually Kim Jong-il before his death, I went on note saying, I've never seen the film. I wasn't aware of it, but he did try to get the film banned in the Czech Republic.
In the Czech Republic?
Well, because they were just getting out of communism at the time. That was a whole thing. It's a whole thing. They would no. But you could just still see where he was like, that it irked him. It irked him just a little bit.
Of course it did. Remember, Kim Jong-il never died. He ascended into heaven.
Heaven, that's true.
That's right.
Yeah.
He had a big growth on the back of his neck on the right side, and that's why you never see any profile pics of him from the right side.
Yeah.
Very true. So. Matt Stone and Trey Parker's hatred of Michael Moore is palpable in the film.
Oh yeah,
which I think is very clear for a very specific reason. If you've ever seen Bowling for Columbine,
I was just about to say Bowling for Columbine was the stuff that irked them, not the other one.
When we get to his suicide bombing scene, there is another funny note, but it's more funny in context.
Okay. Anything else?
Some deleted scenes. This is going to be a recurring theme, especially when you heard the Pearl Harbor song. Pearl Harbor sucks, and I miss you.
Yeah.
It's like, because they were making fun of Ben Affleck in that. There was a deleted scene with Ben Affleck, but his entire body was just a human hand.
Wow.
You know why? Because they made Jennifer into a hand too.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
All right, cool. Do we want to jump right in?
One last one, real quick. There is a shot at when Kim Jong Il is singing "I'm So Lonely." If you've noticed, there's a giant statue of his father, Jong Il Kim. Look at the statue. It was a man covered in pancake makeup.
What?
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
standing there because if you look at him, his arm kind of moves a little bit, and his eyes kind of twitch.
Okay. Okay.
So
We'll see if I can hone in on that particular shot because it's really hard to do. But
yeah,
it's cool.
It's just a funny little note, and also the first thing too is the streets of Paris. If you look at it, they're all they're tiny croissants.
Yep. On the floor.
Yep.
It's South Korea that they do something similar with that city as well.
Yeah.
That's just is that later in the show or?
Oh yeah, it's later. It's later. Yeah,
it's later in the show. Okay.
Okay,
because that's
cool.
one of my favorites. That's one I noticed in theater. I didn't notice the croissant thing until after.
Well,
Yeah.
that's why Oh My Feelings is the guy to go to when it comes to doing research about films because he delivers. All right, cool. So we'll cover the whole movie, but we will jump ahead. We can bring stuff from the ending because we've seen the movie. There are no spoilers. If you haven't seen this movie, you should go watch, stop the podcast, and then come back and listen.
Mhm.
So it starts in Paris where there's a bunch of weird Islamic looking fellows with suitcases, and suddenly they get descended by America. America descends, kills everybody, destroys half of Paris, including the Eiffel Tower itself,
Blows up the Eiffel Tower and the Louvre.
and the Louvre, and the Arc of Triumph. As well.
Yeah, the Arc de
Arc de
Triomphe. Yeah.
Triomphe. Yep.
Uh,
all in the
and-
name of protecting us from terrorists.
Yes.
Yeah, we fucking got him.
Got him.
You got him. Now the shot that I like is where the blonde chick, where Toxic
Lisa.
I do not remember names whatsoever. So Lisa is
The blonde chick.
Yeah, the blonde chick shoots the Durka Durka guy,
Which is a great song.
which is a
Didn't they
great
win an
song.
Oscar for one of the songs?
They
were
They
up
were.
for something.
I think they were
were
nominated.
nominated.
Yeah, nominated. Yeah.
But I like the
they-
fact that you can see the string pulling him from the store into the store.
Yeah.
But it's a fun scene. So they finish up everybody, destroy everybody, and then proceed to turn to the crowd in shock and say, "Well, we saved your asses." And the crowd is like, "Ooh, what
yeah.
the fuck happened?"
Wasn't there a body floating in the fountain?
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
look. That's a
Yeah,
that's a
that's
that's a
classic.
dead guy floating in the fountain. I'm
Yeah,
They
not
essentially
sure. I'm not
killed
sure
what-
if it's a terrorist or some Parisian
I think
dude.
it was one of the terrorists. I think overall they killed 4 terrorists and caused how many millions, if not billions,
Billions
property
of
damage.
It
like
blew up all the things that terrorists would want to blow up.
Mhm.
in
Exactly.
France, so
which
yeah.
is the
Which is
whole
the mockery of it, yeah.
point of the mockery of
Yeah.
everything.
Mhm.
And of course, one of the guys didn't quite die, so he shot the main captain, which his name is.
Carson, and he wasn't the
Carson.
team lead.
He wasn't the team leader.
No.
Okay,
Joe,
but he was involved
Joe
with
Smith was
Lisa.
always yeah.
Joe
Joe
was the
Smith
team
was
lead.
always the team lead. The guy from
And-
Nebraska,
and
the
Lisa.
blonde guy.
Yeah.
Sarah, Carson,
Chris,
Chris,
Sarah, yeah, and Spotswood and intelligence.
Yes.
Intelligence.
So
hilarious.
Bad intelligence, very bad intelligence.
So the thing is, we're missing a man. So what do? We go and get an actor because
Okay, there is one thing on the zoom in shot of what is basically just Times Square. There is one thing for a poster, a giant poster for Choroids. Choroids is the company that made the marionettes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit back.
It's really hard to get the exact.
It's okay, but it's right. It's just right before that.
It's somewhere here.
Just
So
no, it's actually on the left, but just a little bit back. But doesn't matter. But it's there.
Okay, no problem. So so they got like their commercial, like it's not really overt. If you don't notice it, then I don't know, subliminal advertising. So Spotswood gets Gary, the actor,
and we do have the AIDS song there too.
Yes.
Come on, everybody, we've got quilting to do.
Yes.
That's a lot.
Didn't bother you, because it didn't bother me.
Right. He's the
Sorry,
lead
was that
actor he's the lead actor in the Broadway play Lease.
Yes.
Yes.
Which mocked Rent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And everybody has.
Therefore, everybody has
AIDS.
And I think the dancing that they did in that scene was just them shaking them back and forth.
Definitely.
Yeah. It was it was a like we said, a classic Thunderbird action. So,
it's just,
which, to be fair, what do you want them to do? To like do like the lifting of the legs? Like what do you want them to do? They've got so much movie. It's not a long movie. It's like an hour 45-ish, I think.
No,
it's even less. It's an hour 30.
That's the unedited one. Is only an hour and 38 minutes.
Yeah, the theatrical release was quite short.
Yeah.
So then they packed it with some stuff. All right, cool.
So we do have Spotswood with the Lamborghini in.
Yeah, it is a Lamborghini limo, I should say. Where
this is how they got the thing to turn, but it's
so
sweet.
overt when they do the shot where it drives through the streets of New York. It's so weird and like how they move the car, because it can't go turns, so they had to move it kind of weird. It's like, okay, I get it.
Well,
it's easier to do like flying things, like in Thunderbirds or the helicopter that they have, or the airplane, because you can literally set it up on strings and move it, and it's quite easy to do, rather than have a car running through the streets, right?
But I was gonna say, Meth, I know how much you like setups and payoffs. The whole insinuation of the blowjob from the beginning. It's like, no. You want me to get in your car, and it's like, oh yeah, if you give me the part that I have to blow you, right? It's like, no, I just wanted to show you something. Once he gets in the car, Spotswood is like, now suck my cock. I'm just messing with you,
Gary.
Who did it? The guy who did the voice for Alec Baldwin did the voice for this guy, right?
Spotswood, yes.
Spotswood?
I think so. I think so. But
Spotswood was Darren Norris.
No, so it's not the guy. The guy who did Alec Baldwin was Maurice something.
Darren Norris, I think this is the only thing he's been in.
I think so.
Or maybe, yeah.
The thing
maybe
is,
he was a crew member or something. I'm not quite sure.
The thing for me is he sounds a lot like Phil Hartman. So a Phil Hartman kind of a little bit of a voice change. So
Phil Hartman did have a ton of voices. He was very good.
So he did a lot of stuff on Simpsons, right?
Tons.
And I think in 2004 he was already dead. Like his wife already killed him.
Long before that.
I heard, and it was like, I think in 2004 Phil Hartman was already dead. It's like, who did this? And I saw a name, and it was like, it again, me and names. I don't remember. I didn't remember the guy who did Alec Baldwin. I think his name is Morris something, Maurice, whatever. He's an actor. Or
so
the guy who did Spotswood. I'm sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
The guy who did Spotswood did a lot of voice work.
Mhm.
So I think there's
okay.
some voice actors in this film that are have been doing work for a long time. So I think that was, and Darren Norris said he wasn't part of the crew. I think there was somebody that was part of the crew that did a few voices, but Darren Norris has done a lot of work. Fairly Odd Parents. I used to watch that a lot, and that's where he was from. So that's where I remember.
Okay.
His,
Okay.
From there.
From the little I don't do much research, but from the little I saw, I don't think anyone who was involved in South Park the series was involved in voicing this movie, where you would expect except for one, the girl, right? The girl who did Lisa.
There were several that were, they were either Chechnyan terrorists, which
I'm saying the main crew, the dude who did the Sean Penn voice, which I think it was Trey Parker at the end, or all the different main characters were not a part of South Park. But okay, so Spotswood gets Gary into the big kind of thing. He meets all the crew.
I would say he does have one line too before he asks. Gary says, well, I've been everywhere and I've seen everything. Have you ever seen a man eat his own head, Gary? No. Well, then you haven't seen everything.
Exactly. So he meets the crew, and of course, the guy doesn't like him very much, and doesn't want him there.
Sarah's clairvoyance, like she's from UC, the clairvoyance school at UC Berkeley, and it's like, I see what you did there.
Yeah. Exactly.
I see what you did there. Exactly. And he said, and Chris is the best martial artist Detroit had to offer.
I was like, I couldn't even. What? Excuse me? Exactly.
And terrorists are getting together. They're planning their next plan will be 9/11 times 100.
Times 100.
What's that? 91,100.
So
no, and then he said, so, and if you don't think you're ready for this, there's the door. Okay, thanks.
Thanks. And he goes through the door.
He just walks out. Yep.
And the thing is, once he leaves the big base, there's like the montage of where he goes into like the monuments, and I love this. I cannot believe I caught this. They put the doll, and it says freedom is not free, and I was like, is it actually there?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Mm-hmm. Well, technically it's not.
That's the Vietnam Memorial. Yeah.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So freedom isn't free.
Because it's Blackstone. Right. Never mind. It's a different brand.
Well, that does also that again. There was a "What Would You Do" song, which again, $1.05. Freedom costs $1.05.
Yeah. Love that one. There was so much going on at that time in 2004.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot.
After 9/11, and I was in New York at the time, and there was a lot of protests around the number of people that were being killed, and there were some questions about the WMD. We didn't find any of that. Where did that come from?
Yeah, there
was a whole political. We passed this Patriot Act. What does that mean?
Yeah, the whole neocon era, the Tea Party era was at that time, or just starting as well.
Yeah,
it was
there's a lot of stuff happening there.
And a lot of people don't realize that the Patriot Act was already in the works prior to everything that happened at 9/11. So it wasn't exactly
accelerated it.
It wasn't a result of it; just got it pushed through faster.
Well, that was what really kicked that in gear was the first World Trade Center bombing.
Yeah.
Was it that 85?
No, that was 93.
90,
Remember,
92,
they also got the idea to do Die Hard with a Vengeance because that happened.
Right.
Well,
later on, it became a conspiracy theory that actually Never mind.
They came
Tower 7
very,
never
very
happened. Never mind.
close to bringing down one of the buildings with that one.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and
I was saying,
that kind of led to all the stuff that they were doing with the Patriot Day.
Midnight's Edge After Dark had a great point there. The shots that were done with the Gary Johnson puppet around DC, you see it how diametrically opposed it is from the onset and how tight and color bright and everything is fixed. It was done basically with a digital camera because they had to set it up and shoot it as fast as they could.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
They had the puppet there with no string.
They didn't have permission.
They had to do long
permits,
shots.
Nothing.
They didn't get permission?
No.
Oh shit! Nice.
Right, because you can film whatever you want. I mean, they're national monuments. You can go around and do whatever you want to from there. But they don't want people filming film.
No, for film, you need permits and all that stuff. I mean, I know you need permits for everything. You sneeze and it's supposed to be on camera. Permit immediately. And hi, I'm guessing it's Tom and not Andre, but hi, Tom. Thank you for joining
Midnight's
us.
Edge After Dark. That's Tom. Yeah.
All right. Cool. So
that's juxtaposed with the first scene with
where
wait. He said maybe I need to fire my translator.
Yes. And he fired the translator. Exactly. Because that's how things work in North Korea. That's how things work in North Korea. Till this day, by the way. Until maybe the sister. Never mind. So they want Gary kind of decides, yes, I'm gonna go through it, and yes, I'm gonna help. I'm gonna join Team America. So they're gonna send him deep undercover.
But first, they have to do the whole thing where it's a term that's utilized throughout the film whenever one of the vehicles transforms. They call it valmorphizing.
Okay.
They even say that when Gary, we're gonna have to valmorphize him.
Yeah, and in theater, nobody knew what that meant.
Of course not. Of course not.
Made up word. You were like,
yeah.
What the heck? Yeah.
What are you talking about?
So
it made sense. It in the end, you're going back, you're looking at the film. A lot of the stuff that they made up and a lot of the things did here kind of made sense, and some of it was prophetic in the things that they did. So and the acting part and all that, it was just. I thought it was a very clever film, in the way that they wrote it, and Matt Stone and Trey Parker, to me, are entertainment geniuses. In the same vein as Weird Al Yankovic is a musical genius.
Very much so. Yeah.
Right. He's not only the accordion, hammer, dulcimer. There's other things that he can play, that he is just a phenomenal musician. And to be able to take all these songs and come up with these things and parody this stuff so quickly, it takes a brilliant mind. And that, I count Trey Parker and Matt Stone as part of that. Because this film, you could watch it 100 times, and I probably watched it 50 plus times at this point.
Yeah.
You could watch it 100 times and still not catch everything that's in there.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a clever, well-made film.
Very much so. And
the Marinades.
Yeah. Which I think more than anything, that I think this film actually stands the test of time, because in its own right, it is a critique of American society at the time.
Right.
And I don't think that they thought it was actually going to be as poignant as it actually was.
You think so? Because I thought it was very deliberate for the time, because they were doing some other stuff on South Park, which was as poignant as that one, but just with a different angle.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean is, I don't think that a lot of the South Park episodes are more hyperbolic. With this, obviously there's a lot of hyperbole in this, but a lot of the inherent fervor that existed at the time in Toxic, you know, we're both Americans, so we kind of lived through that era. You know how it was then. It was a very odd time.
Right.
Trust me, it was very odd time on this side. Remember, Israel and the U.S. have a very weird relationship. It's not just about money, not just about military, not just about politics. it's everything combined, and the people here are very much influenced on what's going on with the politics in like overall in the States.
Yeah.
So especially if there's an American involvement around the Middle East, doesn't matter if it's Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Syria, whatever, it always affects us. And we, as the greater good around here, always try to influence on those decisions. And it happened in 2004, happened in 94, happened in 64, and it will happen today as well.
So, anyway.
Wait. That's a good place to pause. Because we talked.
Just wanted to finish before.
Finish.
The briefing real quick, because the briefing right before they go over the briefing, it was the first moment where they had Spotswood just rolling all over the set.
Oh yeah.
Back and
That's
forth.
Right.
And then the scene where I don't know if you remember this, Toxic, but it says, "If you get captured, I know you'll need this." He just gives him a hammer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the hammer scene. Yeah.
It's like,
and the expression on the face, right? Because the marionettes, they had the male, they had the female side, and then they just switched heads, right?
Yeah.
But the look on the guy on Gary's face, that astonished look that they used throughout the rest of the film, was hilarious. And he just hands him this hammer, and he's like, But yeah, that was
which we get to see later in The Signal.
Yeah. That's right. All right, cool. So, like I said, this is not just a podcast. This is actually a show. So, to have a respite from actually dealing with every minutia part of the movie, we have a little segment we run. It is called Missing Marquee. Missing Marquee for the uninitiated and toxic is what is sorry, flow of the flow. Missing Marquee is where we take 10 posters, have their text written off, we display them, and Toxic and the chat can answer, but the chat have been hampered with the old 20-second lag. Here we go. Which movie is this? Tox?
That is Naked Gun, 33 1/3, I believe.
33 1/3, correct.
It's a bad movie.
Bad movie. Tom is already on it.
This one.
All right, this is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Tom, you might as well answer this. No,
That's
or my
Arnie?
feelings. I know you know. It is Arnie. I can go a little bit.
Seventh Seal?
It's not the Seventh Seal, no.
Oh, which one was he on?
Where he fights the devil.
Yeah, he fights the devil. Yeah, oh yeah, I know. I have quickly put this movie out of my mind that I ever saw it.
Yeah, it's
really not good.
Movie.
It's it really showed. Oh, Tom is not sure about this one. So, all my feelings. This is, of course,
End of Days.
End of Days. Oh, Tom got it. Tom's got it.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's got the Twin Towers in the back with the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah,
it does. It came out after, though, I think.
Oh, is this Enter the Fist?
It's not Enter the Fist. It is Enter the
Dragon.
Enter the Dragon.
Yeah.
Heat.
I just saw that last week. Oh,
I saw it last week too.
This is comics, culture, and Tom.
No, it's not.
Three guys living together alone in the woods. I've seen this. I am ashamed to know that it's River Runs Through It.
It's not.
Oh no, Legends of the Fall.
Legends of the Fall.
Meet Joe Black.
Meet Joe Black, correct. Seen it way too many times.
What is this? Oh, Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction?
Oh, I hate this film. Speed.
I love this film. What are you talking about?
My wife loves that film. This is me after watching Speed.
Yes. But also, this is
The Deer Hunter.
The Deer Hunter. And last one.
Time Cop.
Time Cop. Correct, sir. Correct.
Probably
nice.
the best of the Van Damme movies.
I
No.
would.
Incorrect.
His most recent film is actually really good.
Now the new stuff I don't count. After the Van Johnson stuff, that's different.
Okay. Yeah.
From all the 90s, it could be two choices. Either it's Hard Target, where he's in New Orleans getting hunted by Bishop from Aliens, or double team, not double impact, double team.
Double team.
Where
is that the one where
team is with his double team he plays both brothers. Double impact he's with Dennis Rodman and Mickey Rourke. Yes, it's either those two. There's nothing else.
What? No Bloodsport or Kickboxer in there?
No Bloodsport. No, Bloodsport was 88, I think. Kickboxer was 89. From all the 90s, not Lionheart, not fucking Double Impact, none of those. Either Hard Target or Double Impact. Anyway, let's go back to the movie.
Matt, you were the guy who said I don't like Heat, so your opinion's kind of wonky to me right now, my friend.
After rewatching it, I don't like Heat. I mean, I like a scene in it
they used in Heat. So
yeah,
there's a couple of rare handguns that are used in that filming. So.
Oh, Tom, Lionheart and Time Cop all the way. God damn it, Tom.
Maybe we ought to do a Time Cop show, Tom.
All right.
That movie's got a long and storied history behind it too.
Yeah. Wait, was there not a Me Too situation on that movie with Van Damme and I think there's a black chick there?
What movie from the 80s and 90s was there not a Me Too?
No, I mean a more serious. Well, fuck it. I'm not going to deal with it right now.
I think there was on Leonard Part 6ch.
There was
there.
That was a joke there.
At 3 seconds later, everybody gets the joke. Yeah, that one. Yeah, definitely. What a horrible film.
Mm-hmm.
So Gary, so Gary infiltrates the base where, he gets in and he's like, he goes in, he doesn't know what to say. It's like Durka.
This is fuck Durka Balaka Laka. Durka.
Oh yeah. Take me to your leader. No problem. Let's go. You look the part.
I thought the makeup is so natural.
The makeup. Yes. And I was like, that's great.
I love how the thing on his head is actually a towel.
Yeah, I told you I admire like puppetry. I really when you go with the physical thing, it's so much better. I know it's time consuming. I know it's really hard to do, but when it's done, even if it's done terrible, like in certain parts here, it looks terrible, but I accept it as what it is rather than get like a CGI version, right?
Okay. One thing I want to point out here, first and foremost, the clear reference to the Mos Eisley Cantina.
Oh yeah, I think that wasn't it playing with like an off version of it?
Yeah, it was
a split second.
Mm-hmm.
For a split second, I was like, I remember this.
Yeah. They have a little bit of that the different dichotomy of the team saying like Sarah saying, I think I'm starting to have feelings for Gary.
Yeah.
Her clairvoyance.
Yeah.
And I love it. I think we're crashing.
Yeah.
I think I'm crashing.
Well, there was Counselor Troy, right, in Next Generation at that time. The joke was, thanks, for telling us exactly what's happening. And there was a joke running around, Counselor Troy tells Picard.
Yeah, but
Captain, I think they're angry at us. And he's like, is that why they're firing? Yeah. So there was
that was after the movies came out, remember? Mm-hmm. This is after the movies came out, so it was more pronounced. I like the fact that when they get discovered, shockingly, they get discovered, and the bad guys kind of
Gary's entire rant about his goats.
Yeah.
Oh, the goats.
I like you. You have balls. I like balls.
I like them both.
And I like the fact that it's supposed to be
Chechenian?
but they're clearly in Egypt. I mean,
well, they're in Cairo.
They're in Cairo, right?
Yeah, they're in Cairo.
But they're Chechen.
But they're Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're clearly in Egypt.
And you know what they're all saying? They're all just saying Russian expletives over and over and over again.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's the entire thing that they used was just Russian swear words over and over, all the stuff that they're doing. And that goes back to the cleverness of Matt and Trey.
Yeah.
There are so many little things like this and plays on humor. Going back to Naked Gun 33 and a third, when I saw that in theater, there was a point where they were in the Blue Note bar after he had broken up with a girlfriend. And I started dying laughing. No one else in the theater did. And the reason why is behind the scenes as they're panning through the guys crying in their beers, there's pictures on the back wall. And the first guy crying, it's the Titanic. The next guy crying, it's the Hindenburg. And they get to Leslie Nielsen's character, and it's Michael Dukakis. And I'm dying because he had that huge lead and then blew it. Time. Yeah, in '88, wherever that was, and just dying because it was still a thing. Yeah. There's so much of that kind of humor in this film that it's hard to pick it all out. I mean, you could do research on this for a while, and it's obviously you have.
Yeah.
You just don't see it. There's a couple things you talked about that I didn't realize were in this film, and I've seen it a ton of times. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was,
and I'm sure there are like
there's going to be a lot more coming up.
All right, cool. Right. So the Team America World Police destroy everything there. They get a reputation. The media covers it, and of course, it comes.
So what they do overall, they blow up one of the pyramids, the Valley of the Kings. They end up resulting in the destruction of the Sphinx with the
yeah,
right.
Surprise cock F words with the ramp and everything.
Yep.
And then there's also the scene where Sarah, the idiot clairvoyant, walks in with basically, I think it's a minigun. I believe she's holstering.
Yeah.
Shoots out the entire. Gary. All the terrorists stand up. She shoots them all down. Gary.
Yeah.
So again, like a good Naked Gun kind of moment there, Toxic, where just rapid fire dumb jokes.
I know you don't like David Zucker, but there were a few David Zucker airplane Naked Gun jokes in this one too. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't as overt as Basketball. It wasn't as overt as Basketball.
Because half of it was written by Zucker.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
No,
too,
I mean,
so
they blow up
100% Matt and Trey, right?
No,
it wasn't. Actually, we
wasn't.
talked about that last week. There were actually 9 writers overall, and Matt Stone and Trey Parker came in and they did rewrites for Basketball, including the entire character of Little Bitch Scolari. That character did not exist in Basketball at all.
Yeah.
And he really ties that whole movie together.
Yeah.
This scene, that was Robert Vaughn's 100th film.
Yes, it was. Yeah, yes, we mentioned that.
We mentioned it on the podcast as well. Right, cool. So when they
turn around, and that movie.
Yes, okay.
When they turn around and the dong flies by Robert Vaughn, I must have rewound that multiple times to see it. Oh man. And Yasmin Bleeth's first scene. Her first.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, her first shot was them standing there. They were actually both naked too.
Long winger.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Big cock.
Yeah. Big cock. Running away. Yeah, it was much more in your face in that film than here.
Yes.
But you can definitely tell that their movie making got better.
For sure.
As they move along. Yeah.
Especially because in this one they have the full reins. Because Trey Parker was named the director, But and they did a lot of production stuff on their own, plus writing, plus all that, and voice acting as well. So it was all them.
Well,
It
because
was
the
all them.
only film that they've been in that they did not actually, one of them didn't direct, was Basketball.
Yeah.
Every other film, either Matt Stone and Trey Parker, or it's just Trey Parker is listed as the director.
Yeah. Well, they needed money, I think, at the time when they did Basketball, because they got screwed by Comedy Central on the merchandising.
Actually, no, that's funny. They thought that South Park was going to get canceled, so they took the roles in Basketball.
And that was part of it? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so they were actually, we talked about this. They were shooting during the day and during doing production meetings and setting up, the individual, like the individual, the cardboard cutouts and everything of South Park for the season 2 while Basketball was being made. So they were doing double duty on this, and this also kind of comes into how they basically worked themselves to death on this film too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because I know that Comedy Central had screwed them pretty hard because they never thought they were going to be anything.
Yeah. Oh, no.
When they saw that first stuff and did all those things from there. And to me, it's interesting that they've stayed out of the limelight as far as the political side of it as much as they have for as much money as they now have.
Well, very much so, yeah. For how successful they've been, yeah.
I think one of the key ingredients for them, and it runs through whatever they did as in Orgasmo as well, where they did whatever they wanted and they compromised very little, and they did a little bit of wiggle room just to get things off the ground or into the can to make it happen. But overall, they kind of did whatever they wanted to do. I mean, Orgasmo proved it. Even the stuff that they put in Basketball, which was theirs, whether or not like David Zucker directed it, and in this movie, where they put in a lot of satire, a lot of critique, taking everybody from every side and laughing at them, making like absurd, taking it to the absolute absurd to make a point where everybody can be joked on and every subject can be joked on. Death and destruction, like terrorism, is a fucking hilarious thing when you put it at that particular light, but it's a fucking horrific thing if you look at it as a dry thing. That's for me, that is the flavor of life, where you can take something so bad and make it so absurd you're just like sitting down and laughing at it.
Yeah, which you don't laugh at tragedy after a certain point. And you want to be respectful for people who are in that. I was in New York during that time when those things happened and saw all that stuff. And there was a general feeling of people needed to laugh at everything that had happened. So New York, when I was there walking around, turned from people that didn't want to look in your eye and didn't say anything, and it was general, New York, completely switched to everybody being friendly and helpful for quite some time. And it was that way until here recently, the stuff that's been going on.
Yeah.
And I think really it was who broke the levees, the proverbial levees. Let's not talk about that because that has a different connotation in the mid 2000s.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
We're talking about Eugene Levy. Is that
Eugene Levy? Yes.
yes.
That iMovie we're going to cover in 2025.
No. No. But it was Gilbert Gottfried when he made the first 9/11 joke during a roast, and he caught so much.
I heard about it, and I fucking love Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah,
he caught fucking flames. Yeah.
What was funny, what was odd though, in retrospect, that's when that was when it became okay now to discuss it, at least. Maybe not joke about it completely, but you can kind of just go, that's okay.
Yeah, but in this, like I've pulled up the Alec Baldwin Film Actors Guild for a point where the whole where you can see it
Yeah, we're looking for- yeah.
for every single subject, that is like a hot button issue. We saw it in 2004, we saw it in 2008, we saw it in 12, we saw it everywhere, in 16, in today, whatever. Wherever there is a hot button issue, there's always the activist actors, whether or not they're good actors or just activist actors. They have something to say about the subject and they really want you to know about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about the point that they're making. The satire is about them patronizing about a subject. It really doesn't matter which subject it is. And you know that, and at the back, they don't really know anything.
No.
Because they're actors. They don't know anything, but that's their position. And because they're famous, they're celebrity, they're somebody in the world, they're Hollywood, they get to say it to millions of people. And that's what Trey Parker and Matt Stone took and make it into ridiculousness. Absolute ridiculous.
That's the prophetic part of this, right?
Yeah.
The prophetic part of the film is you look at the misinformation stuff that's coming from things today. So you get, misinformation here, or this, or I'm using my platform to say this stuff. I mean, they've destroyed Star Trek. They've destroyed Star Wars. And that's because they want to use their platform out of narcissism. Ronald Reagan was an actor. He went into politics, became governor, all that stuff, left the acting behind. And that's the way that you do it. You pick one or the other. You don't mix both.
Yeah. That's the thing I personally hate. And that's where we don't really, usually we don't really discuss it on the show, is the politics behind the stuff. We want to discuss the filmmaking, the how great
and that's a movie
is.
Just the prophetic way that this movie has led to the influence that people have, right? And that's part, the film here, I think, was the influence not only that they had at the end with the Film Actors Guild, but also Gary, how he convinced everybody at the end. So it can be used for good and it can be used for bad. And their point is there's a balance. Right? Exactly. We want these people, we need this entertainment, we need this escapism, we need our films, but what I don't need is to be hammered over the head with this, right?
We need our escapism is the biggest thing, at least for me, is where I don't want to discuss it because I just want to discuss.
There's enough of it in the world, and that's what I like about this film.
Other stuff.
I can watch this film, I can watch basketball, and I don't have to care about anything else.
Yeah,
right. That's why we have our favorite films. They make everything go away. And there's so much irreverent things in this film. There's stories you can pick out within and without, but the humor of this and where they are in Mount Rushmore and this scene and all the stuff that's coming up.
I just put this up. I just put this up to have a reminder of what's coming 5 seconds after this.
I was just gonna say, right before that, they go through all the Film Actors Guild members. They bring up Sean Penn, and what is the thing that Sean Penn says is, "I went to Iraq."
Yeah,
mentions it 3 times as that character. That's what I found funny in the note in the hate mail that he sent to Mastodon and Trey Parker. Was like, "Why don't you come to Iraq with me?"
Yeah, and the whole point is the
satire. And then also the thing with Matt Damon.
Yeah. The whole point is the satire. The satire is key here because you can take anything, everything from all the spectrum of all society and just make jokes after jokes after jokes after jokes. Some of them are overt. Some of them are very, 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 very subtle, and they're not like critiquing. They're just mocking.
Yeah.
And that just keeps you interested in the story they want to tell you in this movie.
Right before this, too, there was the scene with Kim Jong-il and Hans Bricks, which, oddly enough, out of all of the violence that is shown throughout the film, the puppet violence, this was the scene that the MPA actually had an issue with as well.
Why?
The other ones, all the explosions, the Michael Moore explosion with, we're gonna get to
Yeah.
the heads blowing up. They had no issues with that. They had issues with the Hans Bricks things, like, oh, because he's a political figure. It's like,
It's not only a political figure; he's a UN political figure. Very,
but
very important.
but again, speaking of satire and mockery, like mocking the UN, saying, well, if you don't, then we're gonna write you a very sternly written letter.
Exactly.
Telling you how upset we are with you that you didn't let us go see throw out everything in your palace.
So after that scene with the big giant shark, you get the party, and then the after the party, and the infamous dolls having sex scene.
Okay, we gotta stop right there because the line that Gary says is fucking hilarious.
Please tell us that line.
Right there is one of the funniest scenes because it's basically what any guy would do in that situation. Like, if you tell me right now you'll never die, I'll make love to you right now. I promise you I will never die.
And it goes into the sex scene.
And so, the I Need Love song, which if you listen to the lyrics, it's just really upsetting. Because at one point in time at the very end, Trey Parker saying, please say you're a woman.
Well, in today's culture, let's just say,
you never know.
Yes.
Freedom cost $1.05.
Very prophetic. Very prophetic.
And if you won't toss in your $1.05, who will?
Well,
I'm telling you, I've watched.
As long as I don't have to prove my willingness to help out the team the way that Spotswood's asked for, I'm okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That.
So after the whole shenanigan, we come back and Gary is professes his love. He wants to leave because he finished his job. Right?
No. That entire line where she's like, I think I love you. I love you.
Oh yeah. There were so many times when the puppet movement, you're just not going to get that, and he just left it in there.
Yeah,
that was phenomenal.
That was the perfect. What I mentioned before, Docs. Again, at the beginning, they're like, yeah, a lot of the jokes we had in the original script, we can cut out because the marionettes are funny in themselves.
Yeah, they're just funny. Yeah, because they're so inaccurate. It's just makes it a whole different. It's a whole different kind of comedy where it's just fun.
So we have the briefing at the day after, because the Panama Canal
just blew up. We have the briefing, and Gary doesn't want to help the crew anymore, but they reveal the romance between him and
Sarah.
Lisa,
but Sarah's upset because
Sarah's upset.
Yeah, exactly.
In love with him. And Chris is in love with her.
And he leaves. So they go out to the field without an actor.
Yeah.
And
there was that line too where I mentioned before, where Spotswood looks at the computer and goes, that was bad intelligence, very bad intelligence. And the computer's like, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
And they have they have Alec Baldwin's speech, chastising Team America about how, they work for multi-billion-dollar corporations and they're the worst. And they have the pan out shot of the crowd outside of Mount Rushmore, and then the big Michael Moore puppet just with two big hot dogs in his hand.
And mustard all over him.
Mustard all over him.
Oh, the Michael Moore stuff is just great.
It gets better. So they have the line where Spotswood, when Gary is saying, "No, I just got thousands of people killed in the Panama Canal. Like my acting wasn't good enough." It's like, I can't be part of that. Spotswood goes, "There's no I in Team America," and it goes, "Yes, there is.
There is." As soon as he said it, I was waiting for that. Originally, when he said it, there's no I in Team America. It's like, okay, it's coming. Who's gonna say it? Anyway,
yes, there is.
Yeah, I want to move forward because we're gonna be here for 3 hours, and
Yeah.
that's
Anyway, so
unacceptable.
we have the whole thing with the melancholy America.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I want to move to this. I want to move to this.
The meme.
The
And
meme.
there is the meme, but there's also one real important thing in their whole when they're going overseas. They still have Spotswood moving, and at one point in time, they have Spotswood upside down.
Yes. Yes. Where I was like, it was a decision. It was a decision, but okay, we got it.
And there is the dichotomy there too, where the team is having a chat like about how about their feelings essentially, while they are just murdering people.
Yeah, they're destroying people. But of course, the forces of evil do prevail.
And they do have the Michael Moore puppet that comes in. Now, what's funny is they stuffed that puppet, the puppet that they used in the explosion, full of ham before they blew it up.
That's just
that is hilarious and also very, very fucking true.
Yeah, don't piss off Matt Stone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then we go right into the "I'm So Lonely" song.
Yeah.
Before the vomit. So...
Yeah, I know. I'm just keying it up.
I love the fish tank stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
With that.
The
Hans Briggs?
there. Hans Briggs, you butt fucking son of a bitch.
It's so hard to get.
One of my favorite.
It's so hard to pinpoint the exact kind of second.
Make a big plan, but no one listens. No one understands. It's like no one takes me seriously.
Yeah.
You're right near where the guy's standing there. By the way,
I know.
Right
it's literally behind him. It's literally behind him. Okay, it's the best I can do. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
this is the best I can do. But yeah, generally that's the scene where it's just fucking hilarious.
I was in theater, and when he goes, "I work really hard to stay nice and fit, but none of the women seem to give a shit." I just I was like, man, and the songs of South Park. I've got that. I've got Monty Python Sings. I've got all the Weird Al stuff. It's the parody that you can make inside the music and coming up with those lyrics. That's not easy.
No,
and it just seems that it rolls off their tongue.
It
just comes in there. It's great.
I should have written my stupid words to my stupid song because I go about the house doing chores and stuff, and I change words to songs that are stuck in my head. And my wife absolutely hates it when I do that because I am very raunchy.
Yeah.
Very.
But I can't imagine what some of the lyrics were as they were working on this.
Yeah. Well, that's what I wanted to bring up. You brought up a really great point there, Toxic, is I put Massa and Trey Parker up there with all the guys from Monty Python when it comes to creating those songs that are they're infectious. Like the one that always comes to mind because I have it ingrained in my brain is the Universe song from The Meaning of Life.
Dale Ennis and Eric Idle are and their songwriting prowess has just been great, and that's they were doing stuff.
He died.
Bingo Doodah Band.
Ennis died recently, right? A couple of years ago, 3 years ago, something like that. And the dedication by Eric Idle was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the stuff that they did together, and in Yellowbeard, they wrote the music for that, and
I
Jabberwocky and some other stuff they did.
I never liked Yellowbeard. I saw it.
The thing about
more
the Monty
than once.
Python humor is that they're a troupe. So Yellowbeard was Graham Chapman, and I think he wrote with John Cleese, right?
I think so.
And then the Michael Palin and
Terry
Gilliam
Jones
and Jones, they wrote.
Yeah.
And then Dale Ennis and Eric Idle wrote.
And they all came together, and that's where the brainstorm happened, and that's all the good stuff
But you can tell which one's different skits and stuff that go along there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just say it's a long conversation.
It definitely is. Different movies and all kinds of stuff from there. But these two work together, and the team that they have behind the scenes to come up with these songs and to write them in a way that they're just a little different musically and stuff.
Yes.
There's a lot of talent here. From that standpoint.
And again, what's so great is Toxic. Like, as you know, they've been doing this stuff since the early '90s. I mean, look at all the music that was done in Cannibal Musical was done by Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the stuff, the Mormon stuff, they wrote everything on the Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
they wrote all the music in the unrated version of Orgasmo was by them. The theatrical one is different.
They did a lot of bigger, longer uncut.
Yeah,
but
that was the majority was them.
Yeah, majority was them.
So the team gets captured. I'm just shortening up some because we're definitely gonna go over 2 hours today. So the team gets captured by Kim Jong-il. Brought to him anyways. They get captured by all the terrorists. Gary kind of, gets the vomit thing, gets on his bike, kind of tries to sober himself up in some way, and he reaches the base, which was absolutely destroyed at one point.
There was only the one other line that was really important before that, though. The only bit is the drunk guy who comes up to Gary and says, there are 3 kinds of people in this world. There was the dicks, pussies, and assholes.
Yeah. And that, again, that's the setup and the payoff that comes a little bit later, where you think, wow, that was a redundant fucking tale.
Why was that there, and why is it so prominent? Okay.
And again, that's something I personally like in movies, where you do something that is memorable, but you don't really know what is going on with that, and then it pays off either at the end or in the middle. It doesn't really matter. Where it's like, oh, that's right, that's clever. I like that. That's for me. That's that. It doesn't make or break movies, but it could make even a bad movie a fun watch, where you can see those points, and even if you know they're coming, it's like, yeah, that's right. That's what I like.
There's just one little line where Kim Jong-il is mocking Team America, where it says it's gonna be 9/11 times 2,356. Oh my God, I don't know what that is. No one does.
No,
I do. It's 2,146,316.
Said by
nobody.
Nobody.
So like, where do they
come up with those lines? It's just them off the cuff writing that stuff down.
But as you mentioned in chat, the song, the Pearl Harbor song, Pearl Harbor sucks and I miss you. Yeah, they watched that movie over and over and over and over again to try to get stilted acting down for the marionettes. Shit. Yeah.
Wow.
I would never subject myself to watching that movie again. I mean, if I have to, I will, but
Spotswood's tie here is phenomenal.
It's so good.
Just hanging out to the side.
They used his tie as a prop. It was great.
And I don't know if you noticed too, he's holding a broken rocks glass in his hand still.
Yeah, still drinking with it. And you shouldn't be doing that, but okay.
And this is where he says, well, Gary, the only way to show your commitment is you drop down and suck my cock, Gary.
He says, look at me. This is my serious face.
Exactly. I was like, that's marionette. He won't change. The thing is, it's like Kristen Stewart acting. Tox, have you heard this?
Very much so.
No.
Where you get a picture of Kristen Stewart, any picture, and you hold it up and you ask a person,
what's she feeling?
What is she thinking right now? And it could be literally anything. That's the fun. That's the fun about the game. It's the Kristen Stewart acting. It's always the same face.
The joke is she's not thinking of anything, as always.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a void.
But sometimes
Just a void.
she does. Yeah, but sometimes she does. Oh.
Mhm.
And
Like
Gary's so
horrible,
perplexed.
film.
Yeah, Gary's so perplexed. Why do I
well,
need
Toxic-
to suck your
Toxic.
dick?
To be fair, you have to be a little more specific. Which terrible film?
The new Charlie's Angels. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That
Dude, even my wife was like, why did they make this?
Why to make
And
it?
I told her, look at Charlie's Angels. Can you see why? And she's like, oh, they're all in different colors. Is that why? Yes. And she was like, mm-mm. My wife is, and all my feelings met the woman.
Mhm.
She is the normiest of the norm. Okay. She watched Star Trek Discovery, and she said, this is dumb. And I was like, yep. I told you not to watch this. She's the one that says, can we watch Picard? And I was like, are you sure? We watched it. And I said, well, there's a second season. Do you want to watch? And she said, no. She is the Trekkiest of the Trekkies. And she doesn't want to watch it anymore.
Nope.
Moving on.
Sonar in space.
Yeah. Sonar
And
in
we're
space.
done.
Because that
Yeah,
makes
and we're
sense.
Yeah.
And we're done.
And we're done. Anyway, so this is a great point to do a little bit of a pause because we have basically the last act of the movie where we are going to do our second segment of the night. It is called Screen Fighter.
Round 1. Fight.
Screen Fighter is very, very simple. We go to our favorite website called flickchart.com. We display two movies, pit them together, and see which one is the best one. There's no discernible difference between the two. Both of them are good. Both of them are bad. We fall on our criteria, which is basically Friday evening, Saturday evening, out with the boys, out with the girls, out with your significant other. This is two movies in a vacuum. Which one will we pop in? Bablam. Chat participation is very much welcomed. Some like it hot or Rocky 3. Tox, you go ahead and start.
So I am not a Rocky fan.
Okay.
So some like it hot. Hands down, Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis are extremely funny in this movie. I have seen it multiple times. I enjoy films from that era as well. 50s and 60s film, Operation Petticoat, and some other things from that era. So I would, some like it hot in almost every situation, unless I'm out with the guys, they would all probably overrule me and go with Rocky 3.
Okay.
You know, Toxic, you and I are going to get along just fine.
Come on, it's Some Like It Hot. It's a classic.
It's a classic. It's a great fucking movie.
You know,
it really is.
I really love the Rocky saga, especially up to 4. Each one of them has a special place in my heart. But if it's just these two movies, I'm going to go with Some Like It Hot. Because even though it's a 59 movie, it is very relevant. The story, super relevant. You can watch it today and you can let go of the fact that it's black and white. It is very, very funny. It's written very, very well. All right, next. We're going to go, there.
And actually, a callback to what we discussed during the Goonies podcast, it was what he was watching while his father was underneath the sink fixing the plumbing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Corey Feldman's character.
Cool. Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. This is the original Harold and Kumar, if I'm not mistaken, or
Yes.
Rat Race, which was a.
And it's just called American Trip.
Yep.
Yes, Tox.
So I would, the American Trip, which was Harold and Kumar go to White Castle, I would do that one in almost all situations. I do like Rat Race, but yeah, Harold and Kumar, and because Cal Penn was in a movie with Ryan Reynolds. The
that's right.
Van Wilder.
Van Wilder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That he
National
was so
Lampoon's
that's the
Van
first time I
Wilder.
saw
Yeah,
National Lampoon's Van Wilder, and that's I find him funny. Some of his recent stuff is he tried to get serious in a few things. I didn't think that was good, but yeah, American Trip, I could put that on and just let it run and would be able to quote a few things in it. Whereas Rat Race, I would let it run and that would be it.
All right. All my feelings.
Now, also, Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle was solely responsible. I would say solely is a fair assessment of it, of revitalizing Neil Patrick Harris's career.
Are you sure?
Was this before he got the How I Met Your Mother gig?
Yeah, How I Met Your Mother started in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
And this was also before too. Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
All right. That's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Phenomenal actor, especially on Broadway.
I'm gonna go Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle because Rat Race is a fake Cannonball Run.
That's true. Mm-hmm. And also the other thing too, does anybody remember
Methodist?
Right. I'm gonna go first on this one. Yeah. This is gonna give me a headache. I really like the Harry Potter movies, Harry Potter books. I do not like the Harry Potter adaptation movies. Don't like them. They're not as good. I actively hate Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio. Actively hate this that movie. So I'm going to go with Prisoner of Azkaban.
Oh, that's all.
Go, Tox.
So I think Prisoner of Azkaban is one of the best films in the Harry Potter series.
Arguably.
I saw the movies before I read the books, and there is so much that's missing in these films out of the books. But you would have to make 35 movies.
I am aware.
All those books. Yeah,
I'm aware.
Mm-hmm. But I thoroughly enjoyed Romeo and Juliet.
Which one will you pick?
Romeo and Juliet.
Okay. Feelings?
That's surprising. I detest both films, so
you gotta pick one.
I'm gonna abstain from this one and lean on the chat.
No.
I'm just gonna say John Leguizamo as Mercutio. What?
Chat
says Leguizamo. Yeah.
Chat, if you're abstaining, which you shouldn't be, chat says overwhelmingly Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Last pairing, the breakup with is that Korean?
Yes.
No, that is Korean.
That's Korean.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the Parent Trap, which is the French version.
Yes.
Tox.
Parent Trap.
Okay.
Parent Trap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any reason why?
The breakup, it's about escapism, right? And I don't want to leave a movie theater feeling depressed. I left feeling depressed when watching The Breakup. I did not when watching Parent Trap, even the new one.
Okay.
So maybe now after I know what happened to her, but at the time, no.
Feelings?
I agree with you on that one. I think The Breakup is a better film. I think it was actually not a great portrayal, but a more accurate portrayal of what would happen in that set of circumstances, where there is some comedy in there. There is some levity in it. But overall, again, as you said, it's not a happy ending.
No.
They both move on in their lives and it's over. You're expecting that last third act moment where they meet up again and they get back together, and that's supposed to be the grand finale where, oh, well, he apologizes, she apologizes, they move back in together and everyone's happy and sunshine and roses. The breakup said, no, that's not how real life works. Sometimes things just end.
Yep.
That means you're picking The Parent Trap?
I would have to go with The Parent Trap.
All right. Wow. So I'm going to pick The Breakup. And I'll tell you why. The Parent Trap is a recycled story for Disney. I've seen the original Parent Trap with Hayley Mills as a double role when Hayley Mills was an actual little girl. Liked it at the time. This one, it's a remake of the Olsen twins Parent Trap, which was not called Parent Trap at all. It's redundant. The breakup, it's not a fun watch, but it takes the rom-com and says, well, you think you do, but you don't. And they turn fucking the bowl upside down with the cereal and the milk and give you that.
So we'd say it subverted your expectations.
It is subverted. It is actually subverting your expectation.
I would say
actually happening.
But actually, it happens in this set of circumstances, and it actually works.
Vince Vaughn did a great job in the film.
Yes.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, it's not like dodgeball, but let's be serious.
But nothing's like dodgeball.
Dodgeball.
Yes.
Because if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Dodge a ball.
You can dodge anything.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And Vince Vaughn was on fire in the mid.
Vince Vaughn was on fucking fire.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the part he played in that was just.
That was actually really good for basically just a cameo, really, because he really didn't have that many lines in it. But man,
he had enough good parts that he stuck. A lot of it was good.
All right, cool. So Gary sucks the cock because he got
America.
For America.
For
America. He took one for the team, and then
we go into a montage.
They go into a montage, and I was like, that's so on the nose, but I fucking love it so much. When this is like the tame one. There's the one where he fights Spotswood with like in karate gear. And it's so dumb. And I was laughing my fucking ass off. I was in tears. Even on the plane while watching this, it was like, it's going to be a montage. And it was like, oh, shit, that's funny. and I didn't even care.
I love the fact that they repurposed their own song from South Park to utilize
the episodes.
It's a song from South Park? Really?
Yeah, it's from the Aspen timeshare episode where Stan's skiing down there, and that in itself is actually a mockery of 80s films.
Right, like Meatballs, Hot Dog, those kind of films. Right.
Yeah.
And Out Cold, one of my favorites, Out Cold.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great song.
Because
it just shows to show the passage of time. Even Rocky had a montage.
Even Rocky had a montage. And so we get the montage. We get the scenes where they assemble. We get the Film Actors Guild assemble, and everything goes to plan with Kim Jong-il. And of course, we had the Mos Eisley.
I know. 1 second right before that there is a line that Kim Jong-il says to Lisa, because he brings Lisa up. It's like, you will have a personal view. You will have a front row seat. But it's just like, when you see Alec Baldwin, you see the true ugliness of humanity.
Yeah, I love that one. And they did no favors to Alec Baldwin's body.
No, they went hard. And he's like I said at the beginning, he liked it.
He wanted to be in the movie.
Yeah, that's what a lot of them were upset about, that they didn't actually invite him in there. But I think that's kind of the charm to Matt.
Definitely, that would have taken away from it. It was the same thing where if they had George Clooney as George Clooney in that South Park episode, but it's like, no, you played Sparky the dog.
The same. That's one of the best South Park episodes they've ever created.
Yeah.
So as a homage to Star Wars, again, we've got the Return of the Jedi going to see Jabba you don't need a pass. And I was like,
oh, we don't need a pass. It's like, I'm gonna go ahead now. You can go ahead now. And then because they go through different actual just homages that are playing, because when they walk in, all the guards come out, and then it goes right into an homage to the Matrix scene
Yes. Yes.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, which we're gonna get to later. Oh,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I love that line so much. Oh, I love
And
it so
Helen
much.
Hunt. Oh, Helen Hunt. Oh my gosh. Had her in there with a gun and the evil looks on her face, and she's
Yeah.
been in nothing but wholesome stuff. And it just
And what's funny is it was Tim Robbins
Tim
and Sean
Robbins.
Penn that were
Yes.
sitting outside the team area like, we're guards, yeah, we're guards,
Guards,
Arr,
yeah.
guards.
I like the fact that when they're like, he freed the Team America, and the Film Actors Guild is there, and they know shit is going down, and Alec Baldwin is like, I need to go and do this speech to convince all the the world leaders. You need to take care of Team America, and Sean Penn is like, Kapla! Like,
Yes, which is Klingon for
Klingon for success.
Well, they do that when they're at the Film Actors Guild talking about stuff together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
it is,
all
yeah.
about. They're all this. Yeah, this is like
Kapla.
Clooney and Janine Garofalo, and you see Sean Penn say "Kapla." It's like, and Matt Damon.
Matt
Have you
Damon.
seen- yeah, have you seen Janine Garofalo lately? She does not
No.
look well.
Oh,
She does
but
not look well.
I think the last movie or thing I've seen her in was that weird superheroes movie that Ben Stiller did with William
The
H.
Mystery Men?
Oh,
Macy.
Mystery Men. Love
Yes.
that one.
Mystery
that's
Man,
great.
yeah.
I like that.
She has
She
like
had
a
the bowling ball with her father's skull in it, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where
that was going.
back in the day, I was into bowling and I was considering going into a bowling league, and I wanted that bowling ball.
Well, yeah.
By the way, do you know how much it cost back then?
Oh,
About
God.
$8,000
Jesus.
Mhm.
That's
for
ridiculous.
just the bowling ball, and then you need to score it. Never mind.
The whole thing. No, but
It
one thing I
put
did want
me
to say,
off.
just real quick, there is the this is the first time that it's brought up where when Gary's breaking the Team America out, everyone
Yeah.
out. He's like, "How could we trust you, you fucking traitors?" Like Spotswood was like,
Mhm.
well, I'm not dead, and also he sucked my cock." That's how
And then
much.
they were all like, "Oh yeah, okay,
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
fine,
That's how
He's
much
right.
he loves America.
Okay.
right."
So they go into
Saving
the
world.
sort of homage to the Matrix. To me, it's just me. It's just me feelings. You know me. This looks like Lopan's atrium.
Yes. And
I mean, I'm not sure they were going for the Lopan atrium from Big Trouble in Little China, but this looks to me exactly like that. But the scene itself is like, oh yeah, it's the Matrix. It's when they try to free Morpheus, basically.
yeah.
Right.
So there is the Kapla and that scene.
Yeah.
Then how it's Sarah and Joe get separated, and because the actors they act.
Yes.
It's to ruse them, and when the door closes, the one door opens, and two black kittens come out.
Oh yeah. It's
Panthers.
exactly the scene I'm looking for. It's like
Eat
the
them Panthers.
yeah, meet the Panthers, and they free two black
We are
cats.
not
and
your enemy, Sheba. We are not, or not. We're not who you're angry at, Sheba.
yeah,
Oh,
and they direct him to.
You're not your officers. And Jonas is like, you don't have mind powers, Sarah.
exactly. That nothing works for her. She's always doing the Counselor Troy thing, and then, bam,
Yeah,
it works.
It works.
and it was it was Danny Glover and Sean Penn that were behind the glass. I think.
It's
I
definitely
think
Danny
it's
Glover.
Samuel L. Jackson, maybe.
No,
not
Samuel
sure.
Jackson comes
Jackson gets
later.
his head
That's
cut
later.
off.
No, then it's Danny Glover. I'm
It's good. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, it's Danny Glover and Sean Penn. Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And then we get to see Gary and the leader again.
No. They've Kim Jong Il and Lisa in that scene's like, and the world will be over in 5 minutes. It's like,
Yes. Why? Why is there always a
that's not Trey
countdown? Why don't you
Parker.
just hit the
Oh,
button?
you magnificent bastards, you.
Yeah.
No, I mean the scene with Susan Sarandon. It actually comes before
Oh, yeah.
that.
No,
The
oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's like,
where she's
you
tied
understand.
up.
She's acting.
Yeah,
like,
she's
Oh, my
acting.
God. I can't believe I almost fell for that. And then Chris tells the story about how basically he got raped by Mr. Mistopheles
Yeah.
backstage
yeah.
at Cats. It's like, what?
Who comes up with that?
I know.
Right.
And I was laughing my ass off because, the name. Never
Yeah.
mind. It made it's a personal
I
chuckle.
know.
It's a personal chuckle.
I know.
But it's where it's like the realization of, oh, Gary is a part of the team and I accept him, which is in every fucking movie ever when it comes to like action stuff where there's the new guy coming into the old group, yada, yada, yada. And they still put it in because it's supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have the whole setup with all the different characters in between Alec Baldwin giving his speech.
Yes.
And the big thing with Samuel L. Jackson was the misquoting of the Matrix bit.
Yes.
Quit trying to hit me and hit me.
Yeah. Wait.
They put in there.
It's really hard because when they use the thing, they just jiggle them.
Yeah.
So it's like if you see this is a still picture, I couldn't get an actual still of this because they were moving way too fast.
They just jiggle, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They just jiggle.
But I love the fact because it's like, no, that's a line by Lawrence Fishburne, and that's the joke.
And that's the joke. And of course,
how many people watched Team America and went like, oh yeah, I remember Samuel L. Jackson in The Matrix.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. By the way, was Matrix not Revolutions, Reloaded came out that year? Because Reloaded
came out in 99.
99.
Reloaded came out in 2003. Revolutions came out in
then 6 months later.
No, sorry, not 93. 2003, and then the next film came out in
2004, but early 2004.
Yeah.
Maybe. It literally was 6 months between 2 and 3.
Which they just needed to stop at the first one. That's
correct.
Yeah.
That is correct, sir. Yes, you win all the prizes. Correct. So we get the scene with Kim Jong-il and the why is it always a countdown? And then Gary busts through Alec Baldwin's speech and he gives his own dicks, asses, and pussies speech where harkens back to that wino in the alley, in the vomit and everything. And this speech is fucking phenomenal. It's
a pivotal moment in my life. I can tell you
so relevant to society. It's unreal because if you take aside the dicks, asses, and everything, and you really think about it, yeah, that's kind of how the world actually works today. Yeah. And it's that circle where I saw it first on. I don't remember if it was Joe Rogan, but I believe it was. So hard men makes good times make weak men makes hard times make strong men or hard men. And that's literally a circle jerk of life in the modern era. And when I say men, I mean people.
We
Relax.
know.
But yeah, so we get this, and
then we have the also the again she says terrorize this.
Yeah, terrorize this. Bam.
And Gary stops it at 1 millisecond.
Yes.
Yeah, it's one of the favorite tropes. Is that in Galaxy Quest, it always stops at 1
It always stops at 1 second.
1 second.
Yeah. Was it here or Galaxy Quest where it literally stopped it at like 5 or 6? And no, it's in Galaxy Quest where they stopped it at like 6, but it kept on going till 1 and then it stopped, right? It was just Galaxy Quest, but here also? Let me see. Well,
No. Well, the other one that's really kind of subverts that trope is remember in The Fifth Element.
Yes.
Gary Oldman's character stopping the bomb, going, and then the other bomb opens up and goes,
oh, shit. And, yeah. So Gary stops that, and Kim Jong-il lands on a World War II German helmet.
That's a World War I German helmet.
Sorry, World War I, not World War II. World War I.
Kaiser-esque helmet. Yeah.
Yes. Where, yeah. Anyway.
And then Spotswood again calls out Gary.
For sucking his dick.
Most talented actor in the world, just saved the world, and also they sucked my cock.
just so all the people in the crowd and in the world need to know. And then
Kim Jong-il dying and the cockroach crawling out of his mouth.
Oh yeah, the cockroach goes out and it goes into the spaceship and he flies. Like, oh, you Earthlings! I'm gonna get you.
You know, I watch that now, and all I can think of is goddamn Mongolians.
Goddamn Mongolian trying to break down my shitty wall.
Welcome to Shitty Walk. Yeah, that bit at the end where he becomes a cockroach and go there is just one of those, okay, the evil genius, harken back to My Man Flint, Our Man Flint, those movies, and stuff from there. And that just shows a little bit more genius. We're not done.
Yeah,
you think you're done,
there's
you
one
think
more
the
joke in
done.
there. Yeah.
And
that's also a callback to Megaforce, which is what I mentioned before, because they got a lot of nuances and there's a lot of homages to Megaforce, and that's one of them in the film too. So that's another film. Just turn it on and turn your brain off and just like, this is dumb and it's fun. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, all I can think about on that, like the cockroach scene, was, that's like Austin Powers type thing, where at the end he's not really dead, he escapes at the last minute. It literally is like the old Bond movies use that trope a lot, where they kind of killed Blofeld, but he kind of escapes and all that stuff. That's, it's a trope, and they actually used it because why the fuck not? Squeeze in that last bit of comedy.
Yep.
And that is basically the movie. The movie. Let's do a little bit of a summarization. I fucking love this movie, watching it again and again and again. I'm sure that if I'll watch it one more time, everything that we discussed in this show, I'm going to go, oh, that's where it is. Oh, that's where it is. That's gonna be a fun watch. The in a month I'm gonna watch it again, and it's like, oh yeah, we did this. This is so funny, and the stuff that we missed and we didn't talk about. It's like, oh, I wanted to talk about this, but it's just a fun watch. Anything to add, Toxic?
There's so many subtle layers to this. It truly is like a croissant. Right, from the beginning and opening scene and all that stuff from there, no matter how much, there's just multiple layers and intricacies in this film. I think it shows the comedic genius, the musical genius that Trey and Matt have, and their ability to hoodwink executives. And they were cracking jokes and playing pranks on the executives of the studio, and they know how to play against the studios, and they know how to make sure their audience has something that's hilarious and funny that you can enjoy time of time. I mean, this came out early 2000s. There's a lot of stuff that was going on. There's a lot of references that are period to that time, but it's still funny.
Yeah, like Hans Blix is very, very specific
Yeah, because he was not many people. You have to go look him up. Hans Blix was the UN inspector that went into Iran looking for weapons of mass destruction. He couldn't find anything. So that whole joke kind of loses a little bit out of there. But this was a 10 out of 10 when I saw it in theaters. It's been a 10 out of 10 every time that I've watched it since then. I will put this movie in. I'll put Basketball in. I'll put Bigger, Longer, Uncut in, and just let him go. And go about the house, do what I need to do. These are desert island movies for me because they make me laugh. And there's like I say, there's a lot of layering and genius to what these two did in this film. And I'm glad they made it. And if you don't like it, well, you're just an idiot.
Feelings, anything to add? Because you've been anything from the notes that we kind of missed?
No, not really. Just kind of just more superlative stuff that really like once you watch it again, you're like, oh, little tiny little notes, but doesn't matter.
Right.
Just
cool.
But I thought that overall, again, I completely agree with Toxic Man Flu. All of the Matt Stone and Trey Parker films, I distinctly remember seeing that were in theaters. I distinctly remember seeing in theaters. I distinctly remember going to see Basketball. I distinctly remember going to see South Park, Bigger, Longer, Uncut. And I distinctly remember seeing Team America.
You're lucky. I've only seen it like in DVDs and whatever it was on, like cable. I never went to see Team America in the theaters when it was on.
Well, I would say I remember just distinctly the first time, then the second time, then the third time, then the fourth time.
Yeah, I saw it a couple times in theaters, but that was before they had a lot of this stuff in there. Some of the stuff that they cut out. So I just want to say that I need you like Ben Affleck needs acting school. One of my favorite lines the entire film. And that I need you like Cuba Gooding Jr. needs a bigger part.
Yeah, needed a bigger part in that movie. He's way better
that was
than
the criticism
Affleck.
at the time of the film was that Cuba Gooding Jr. got a Oscar-winning actor.
Yeah.
He's got nothing of a part. It's an important integral part. And then you got Ben Affleck doing Ben Affleck crap. So, Pearl Harbor sucks, and I miss you.
Yep.
All right, cool. Before we end the show, we've got a little bit of a taste of what we saw. We call it the short version. But before we do the short version, we will plug our man Toxic yet again. Go, follow Toxic on Twitter. From there, it will lead you to The Gilded. You can go and get him on Gilded. If you don't know what Gilded is, it is actually a Discord alternative. Works exactly the same, just without the Discord things. And of course, you can always go and watch Comics Division on Comics Division channel, either on Odyssey, like you can see in this, or on YouTube, where when he's not having a fucking strike or a ban or whatever, as Toxic is a part of a few shows that Comics Division does, and he produces them to a great degree, Toxic. So shut up. If you want to interact with our little show, you can always at me on Twitter at Mephisto. You can Instagram me on at Mephisto79. And you can always email the show at the Reel McCoy podcast at gmail.com. As we set up this and that, we're going to go into this view. And this is, of course, the short version of Team America World Police. This is very short this week.
Here we go. The short version.
Put down the weapon of mass destruction and get on the ground.
Terrorize this.
We stopped the terrorists.
The name is Spotswood.
They're called terrorists, Gary, and they hate everything about you.
Now take your weapons of mass destruction and get the fuck out of here!
You're going to fool everyone, Gary. Or should I say, Ahmed.
The Film Actors Guild believes that what the world needs is compassion, not violence.
Hans Briggs? Oh no! Why aren't more people encouraging? Like me?
All right, I'll trust you. But only if you will perform oral sex on me.
Kapla! Kapla!
Jesus, titty fucking Christ, I could have sworn she was telling the truth.
Net Damon!
That handles dangerous people with talk and reasoning. That is the fag way.
Pussies don't like dicks. Because pussies get fucked by dicks.
He's a man so dedicated that he will get down on his knees and put that cock right in his mouth.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
America, fuck yeah. Oh my God.
I gotta love the film.
I know how
God.
dumb it is. The Matt Damon thing still gets me every goddamn
It got
time.
you mid-drink. I fucking love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was our show. Thank you very much for joining us. And of course, always, next week, we start a new month. There is no theme for next month. So it's free flow ideas. It's going to be a great month though, because we're starting off with one of my favorite films of all time. Yes, I'm a pussy, but it is
Inconceivable.
It's inconceivably great movie by Rob Reiner called The Princess Bride. Watch it or refresh it. Come back to us. And we're going to break it down and have a fucking good time doing it. Thank you, Toxic Man Flu. And until next week.
Thank you.
Until next week. See you later.